Hello friends, this is Viraj. Welcome to GS Core. Today we will be diving into an effective revision strategy which will help you in clearing Prelims 2025. What we will be doing is we'll be looking into how optimally to use the resources that are already available with you, be it notes, be it mind map, be it previous year's question papers or mock tests that you have given till now or intend to give from now on. देखो यूपीएससी एग्जामिनेशन ना हार्ड वर्क इज नेसेसरी बट hard work itself will not do the trick. What has to be done? Smart work has to be supplemented along. Also, because UPSC exam requires both factual and analytical abilities, factual knowledge and analytical abilities. Now, so our revision strategy has to be structured. It has to include extensive practice and also leveraging the right resources. Leveraging the right resources according to the need of the examination, of course. And what this will do is it will enhance your confidence. And let me tell you one thing, prelims exam mein na confidence is of immense importance. All right, so confidence basically is of immense importance. So let us look into an overview of this particular strategy. Let us look into the overview of this particular strategy. What I will first and foremost tell you is, I had also explained about it in the previous video, but today we are getting into the specifics of revision strategy. So I will talk about it again and in detail. First thing is, you have to focus on core and non-core subjects both, but your attention obviously should be more. Your attention obviously should be more towards the core subjects. Now, what are these core subjects and what are the non-core subjects? Now, I'll explain it to you in just a bit. Be patient. So, focus should be both on core and non-core subjects, but more attention has to be paid towards the core subject. Second thing, use of notes and mind maps for quick revision is of immense importance. It has to be done. When I say when I say mind maps and notes are to be used for revision, now for quick revision, I will suggest that after you have done two readings of the material that is available with you, whatever you have studied, okay, most of you have been studying for the last 1 year, that is what I assume. All right, all the subjects you might have gone through at least twice. That is more than enough. That basically is more than enough. All right, I will say your first reading or your second reading of a particular subject now must not go beyond February or March first week. All right. After that, it is only the notes and it is only the mind maps that are to be used by you. If a particular topic you are not able to recollect it, then I will say then the thing is different. Then what you can do is get into the book and only look at that particular topic. Dekho, if you keep on reading and read a particular book 6 times or 7 times, now it will not make any incremental increase. Two readings, I will say, of any subject, and that too limited resources is more than enough. Not more than two readings is required in any case whatsoever. Not more than two readings are required in any case whatsoever. Please remember there has to be a base of knowledge, and then on that particular base, what you have to build upon is what you have to build upon is some triggering points which will help you to recollect about that topic. Okay? And if you look into only those particular points now which are important from exam point of view, okay, if you consistently look upon those pointers that basically give you conceptual clarity and through it help you to understand the implications of that concepts, the interrelations now that basically is more than. So again and again going through the definition of what is parliamentary democracy in the book that I am reading now, if I can just converge it into one line, what is parliamentary democracy through notes or through mind map, and then after twice I have read the particular book and only look into that one particular line, only look upon that particular line. Now what will happen is whatever I have read, whatever basically I have read with respect to parliamentary democracy or the whole paragraph now about parliament explaining parliamentary democracy, it will come back to me. That is what I am saying. That is what matlab I am referring to, and that is where I am basically taking you to. Focus upon pointers. Focus upon such notes which will help you in reminding what you have read in the book. Again, reading the book, what it will do is it will bombard you with content, and that content will not help you on the front of analysis also and on the front of remembering factual information also. Okay, factual information after two readings can be remembered and it can only be triggered through pointers. ठीक है, that is my experience, that is what I felt during my preparation days. And when it comes to prelims now, seriously, you can trust me, I have cleared it 5 times. All right. Third is analysis of previous year's question papers. This we have discussed last time also. When you go through previous year's question papers, now what will basically happen is, in fact, this step has to come ahead of going through notes and mind maps. When you go through previous year's question papers, now what will happen is you will know what UPSC is interested from you. You basically will know, if I am reading about, say, if I am reading about, say, sovereignty, the topic of sovereignty. Okay, then what UPSC expects from me when it comes to sovereignty. ठीक है, your notes, whether they are self made or they are prepared by some institute, ठीक है, it does not matter. At this point of time, I will not suggest you to make your own notes. All right, but whether the notes that you are referring to are providing you the right direction or not, it will be determined from the fact that are they in alignment with previous year's question papers or not. And when I say previous year's question paper, now again I repeat, मतलब last time, again in the last video I had explained it to you. The link of the last video now you can find in the description section. It will give you a holistic view. Okay, today we are only focusing on revision, but holistic view of the last 100 days, what has to be done in the last 100 days, now that you will get in the video that was previously shot by me. What I will therefore suggest you is, the notes that you are reading now, you will understand if they are taking you in the right direction or not, if they are in alignment with PYQ. All right. So notes by GS Core, if you need them, we will provide it to you. No problem. Take them. No problem. We will provide the PDF to you. No problem. Soft copy will be given by us. If you need mind maps of GS Core, that also will be available. We'll provide it to you. Don't worry at all. All right. Don't worry at all. So those notes are being prepared on the basis of, those notes basically are being prepared on the basis of what I will say, previous year's question paper and the psyche of UPSC. Obviously, we cannot claim to understand UPSC entirely, but in our limited experience, now what is demanded by UPSC, that can be determined by PYQ, and we have tried to do the same. All right, and these notes are basically prepared under the guidance of faculties of GS Core, so they will definitely help. All right, next thing is next thing is कहाँ से कहाँ तक PYQ करना है. Let me tell you, 2024 से 2014, from 2024 to 2014, these PYQs are of utmost importance. But I will say, take into consideration PYQs from 2014 to 1995 also. Why? Because UPSC na generally has this habit of taking up a particular question from a previous year, or taking up statement from a particular question which has been asked in previous year and asking it again. Okay, so it will be a direct reference point to whether the statement is correct or not. So it will help you in that. Again, practice of PYQs, practice of MCQs is required. So why not practice the MCQs given by UPSC itself? Though they are much older, from where you stand today. All right. आगे बढ़ते हुए, at least solve 10,000 MCQs. What this will do is, this will basically do three things. ठीक है? It will particularly tell you what type of information has to be remembered by you, and therefore now you will remember this information for a longer period of time. And second, it will improve your stamina of going through MCQs. देखो, those of you have written their prelims examination earlier, you might remember it, and those who have not written their prelims, those who are writing their prelims examination for the first time, let me tell you very frankly, your energy will be at optimum till you are attempting the first 30 or 35 questions. After that, it will start dripping, and by the time you reach 70 questions, now you will just want to finish the paper. So the last 30 questions, most of the times, now what happens is they get sacrificed. They basically get sacrificed. All right. And for the purpose of that not happening, and you being at your optimum performance, at your optimum performance now, for all the 100 questions, this going through this 10,000 questions is very, very essential. Second thing, whenever you go through PYQs, or whenever you go through MCQs, or whenever you attempt a mock, I will suggest you for general studies to do it between the time of 9:30 and 11:30. वही time at which UPSC conducts its examination. For CSAT, I will say appear your test or practice CSAT between 2:30 to 4:30. Whenever you are planning to do it between 2:30 and 4:30. ठीक है? Your brain should be stimulated towards that particular mode of answering question. at that point of time itself. Na? So 9:30 to 11:30 is the time when you will be going through PYQs or MCQs. Alright. Last, regularly review your test explanation. Okay, so test explanation. Now, I feel they're very important from the point of view of examination. Why they're important from the point of view of examination? Because once you commit yourself to a particular question, or even if you leave a particular question, that question will remain with you. Okay, questions tend to remain with you for a longer period of time than the content that you have basically read from your book. है ना? That you have basically read from your book. So once you go through an information through a question, it will stay with you. Hence, any test that you give, any test that you give, also basically go through the explanation provided on that particular test. Now, this becomes even more important if you are committing a mistake when it comes to concept, or if you are committing a mistake on the analysis of a concept. It becomes even more important. Primarily is कि आपको you should not be wrong when it comes to a concept, and if you are, you know, if you are getting the answers to be incorrect in the questions which are primarily focused upon a concept, then go through the explanations. Go through the explanations. All right. Otherwise, also giving a read to explanation is something that I will suggest you. I will basically suggest you. All right. Now, getting to the next part, core and non-core subjects. All right, friends. So, core and non-core subjects, what are they? These do not have to be your core subjects or non-core subjects. These are only for examples. Okay. So, as as had been discussed earlier, also, core subjects are those towards which your natural orientation is there, and also what I will suggest is towards which your national orientation is there, and also UPSC tends to ask questions from it. Alright, UPSC basically tends to ask questions from it, so they have to be your core subject. You cannot have less than 4 core subjects. Okay, I have not written current affairs here separately because I feel current affairs basically are part of static subjects. Okay, what is current affairs basically? What is current affairs? Current affairs is whatever is written in the syllabus now about that what is happening today. Okay, or about that what has happened in the recent past. That is current affairs. Okay, hence I have not written current affairs separately. What I will say is, what I will basically say is, the core subjects have to be studied by you twice, take a compulsorily twice, and revision of it has to be done by you at least twice. Apart from revision through notes and mind map. Apart from the explanations of the test that are provided. Explanation of the test to chaldega hi na, right? But apart from that, notes and mind maps through it, na, two revisions are necessary. Two revisions basically are necessary. Non-core subjects, I will say reading once and two revisions is more than enough. Take it. Reading once and two revisions are more than enough. One important thing that I will let you know with respect to core and non-core subjects is your dependence on current affairs. Because almost all the subjects now have their dependence on current affairs. Even history and culture also has its dependence on current affairs. Okay. To pick up a material in current affairs, now that basically links current affairs to the static part of syllabus. For example, GS Sampurna jo hai, in that what we do is we provide you or any material, even if you are not referring to GS sorry, even if you are not referring to Prelims Sampurna, that is completely fine. It is not the question of marketing our material over here. But even if you are not oriented towards it, you are reading something else. Na? To choose a material that contains adequate information about what has happened, and also static knowledge with respect to the same. For example, if governor of a particular state has dismissed the chief minister of that state, current affairs will be given with respect to that particular occurrence. Also, what has to be done is governor's powers with respect to dismissal of the chief minister, which are present in the constitution, that have to be related to, that basically have to be related to. In that way, what will happen is your static part will get revised even more. Though revisions to ho raha hai na, current affairs will provide you an opportunity to read it for the third time, for the purpose of getting your current affairs right, for the purpose of basically getting your current affairs right, and for the purpose of revising the current affairs. Now, what I will suggest you is, 2024 occurrences in 2024, I will basically suggest you I will basically suggest you to go through annual compilation. All right. And from January to March, I will recommend you to go through newspaper as you are doing. Newspaper reading habit should not be left by you. From January to say April end, go through newspaper and annual and monthly magazines of January, February, March, and April have to be regularly read by you. So magazine of January will be out in February, magazine of February will be out in March. Okay. And in the last month, that is in the month of May, what I basically want you to do is for 1.5 year ka compilation will come out of all the institutes including GS score. So it will give you current affairs notes. It will give you notes of current affairs for roughly 1.5 2 months, right? 1.5 2 years. So go through those particular compilations. Go through those particular compilations, and while going through it, now focus upon static part also, which is provided alongside the current happenings. Okay, so if for example earthquake has happened in some part of the world, read about the earthquake, look into that particular part of the world. ठीक है, mapping भी हो जाएगा उससे, and then read about the concept of earthquake itself, which will be adjoining to the current affairs, which will be basically adjoining to the current affairs. All good current affairs resources are drafted in such a way. All right, even prelims संपूर्ण on GS score, you can refer to that. ठीक है, moving ahead. Okay, with respect to notes, summarize each topic into crisp notes. I would say time for making notes is now has now basically gone. All right, now you cannot go back to making notes. I will not suggest you that, but notes are available in market. All right, notes basically are available in market. I will suggest you to read those notes. If you do not find good notes, we are there for you. We will provide it to them. We will provide basically to you, and create mind maps that interlink the concepts. Okay, the concept interlinkage is mainly in mains, but now questions are asked in prelims also. Again, GS score does that thing for you. GS score is oriented towards it. We will do it for you, no problem. Okay, actually we have done. Actually, we have already done that work, and on most of the topics now, notes are available, mind maps are available, and those notes and mind maps are based upon, again I'm saying, previous year's questions and the relevant information that you basically require to clear the prelims examination. So we will provide it to you. We will basically provide it to you. Use color codes to highlight important points. This you can do according to your choice. ठीक है, देखो in my preparation days now what I used to do basically is I will only rely upon pointers. I will only rely upon pointers. ठीक है, and I will not that much depend upon highlights, but highlights have even my friends that are into services and even the students of GS core that are into services right now, na, I have seen them make good use of highlight. But highlight does not mean that you will make a rangoli in that particular. Highlight only that particular. For example, if I write the definition of parliamentary democracy, what is the definition of parliamentary democracy? Parliamentary democracy is a form of government in which executive branch is dependent upon legislature. Now, what has to be done? Executive dependent upon legislature. That has to be marked by you. That is more than enough. That basically is more than enough. Revise mind maps weekly to reinforce memory. Okay, weekly is good enough, but I will also say daily. देखो, mind maps is something that is easy to consume, right? Mind maps is something that is easy to consume. Now, what I will suggest is while you are having tea, while you are, having your dinner, at the time when you don't intend to read as such, take it. Use those particular mind maps. It will take you hardly a minute or two, at maximum 5 minutes, to go through one mind map. Do it. That is more than enough. Analyzing previous year's questions. This topic has been done by us. This topic basically has been done by us. ठीक है, we have talked about it also. Focus upon the revision में ना, what I will say is what I will basically say is after revising, after going through previous year's question paper, you will identify what are high value topics. You will also identify in that topic na what concept is focused upon, what particular concept is focused upon. So if I take into consideration fundamental rights, most likely the question that is asked on fundamental rights is on article 20, right? So I will focus upon article 20, right? I will basically focus upon article 20. So this is the way in which I will basically narrow down. In revision, what I want you to do is focus only upon those high value topics. Focus only upon those high value topics on which UPSC repeatedly asks. ask few questions. ठीक है, you will not have time to basically stretch yourself. You will not have time to stretch yourself. And when I say do not stretch yourself, now I also mean please do not include any new book in your book list right now. As far as static part is concerned. As far as static part is concerned. So most of the books are with you. For example, with respect to polity, you will obviously read Indian Constitution at Work. You will obviously read political theory. That is, both of these are NCRTs. You will also read the book which most of the students are reading in Rajendra Nagar also, in Mukherjee Nagar also, and throughout India. I'm not name that book, but you know what that book is. Now, don't go beyond this. Take it. Don't go beyond this. When it comes to book, notes you can use of any institute, including GS Core. If you have not made your notes, if you have made your notes, excellent. If you want to share those notes and get inputs from us, I will provide you the link of Telegram channel in the description. You can either send it to us on that group, or you can on Telegram send it to me directly. All right, I will review your notes. Don't worry about it. ठीक है. So as I told you now, PYQs कैसा use करना है? High value topics. In the high value topics, what are the concepts that are consistently asked, and focus upon those concepts and those high value topics in your revision. In your revision, focus upon them only. Okay, rest of the topics, what you can do is through discussion with your friends or through test papers. Okay, you can cover. There is no need for you to focus upon, say, special officer on linguistic minority to be taken into consideration through notes. Read about special officer on linguistic minorities through test. That is more than enough. Okay, so those topics which are not high value but which are in the syllabus, that have to be done through test. Again, aim to solve 10,000 MCQs before prelims. As I told you, if you go through 10,000 MCQs, you will be so adequately, you will be so adequately settled in multiple choice question types exam. It is impossible for you to fail. It is not possible for you to fail. And as I was telling you, now all of this has not to be done through test. Okay, maximum 2 tests a week is more than enough. Rest of the days, go through 50 to 100 questions. Okay, whatever the number of questions you are attempting now, it should not be more. It should basically not be less than 50, and optimum should be 100, because after 100, now you will start feeling fatigue. If you are able to do it, if you can concentrate, then no problem, go ahead. I will say go ahead. Okay. Again, what has to be done when you go through questions? Look at the question, look at the options, and look at the answers. Don't challenge you. You challenge yourself in the test. You basically challenge yourself in the test. Okay. One more thing, 8 to 10 full marks is more than enough. Even if you attempt 6, 7, that is also okay. In the last 10 days of your preparation, do not attempt any mock. Even if you attempt the mock, do not look at the score. Attempt it only for the purpose of practice. That's it. All right. Mocks will also help you to let you know what are the areas in which you are falling weak. Focus upon those areas. Other thing is, while attempting mocks, now what will also happen is you will commit silly mistakes. It is my experience that if you only avoid the silly mistakes that you commit, if you only avoid the silly mistakes that you are committing, now I will say you are saving 6 to 7 questions of yours on the day of the examination. On the day of examination. And once you go through so many questions, now what will happen is you will come. Okay, so from the first test itself, what you have to look into, what are the errors that you have committed? What basically are the errors that you have committed? If you again require the help of GS4 in that, we will be happy to help. Okay, this we have already done. I will suggest, because this particular time allocation is very important, I will suggest 70% of your time has to be given to core subjects. 70% or more than 70%, I would say, has to be given to core subjects. Even at the time of preparation, now I would say, matlab, in the month of February, in the month of March, I will say 30 to 40% of the time has to be given to going through questions. 30 to 40% of the times. Once you get into April and May, this should increase to 50%. In the last 2 months, now go through more and more questions. Go through as many questions as possible, because going through questions and looking at the information through questions, now it will it will provide a trigger. It will basically provide a trigger that content will remain with you. And once you see that type of question, that type of content being asked, what will happen is you will be able to recall what you have. Okay, there is no other way. This is the only way. Okay, you will be able to recall what we have. You have, because you are reading the content or going through the content in the pattern of the questions, in the pattern of inquiry which is required by UPSC, it will be basically easy for you to respond. It will be basically easy for you to respond. All right. Now this is some gyan I will give to you. Consistency is a key. Okay, you have to study it. There is no question about it. There is no question of any break right now. Okay, we are already in the month of February. Okay, this is applicable for the month of March also. अभी ये बोलना कि मुझे ब्रेक चाहिए, now saying कि I require a break of 1 or 2 days, this is simply not possible. What you can have is you can have daily break of say 2 to 3 hours, okay, where you can pursue your hobby or something like that. All right. Otherwise, saying कि I need a break for a whole day, that is not possible at all. Do not do it. And in any case, now, not less than 50 questions. I will recommend 100 questions. But if you are starting with going through MCQs right now, na, so it should not be a burden on you. So इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ, that is why I'm saying 50 questions is okay. But I will suggest you to go through 100 questions. All right. If that link is broken even by a single day, it will be fatal for you on the day of the examination. It will be basically fatal for you on the day of the examination. Focus on conceptual clarity. The most important part is conceptual clarity. Once you have conceptual clarity, once you have settled in it now through revision, the implications of that concepts, okay, the analysis of the concept will come to you. Don't worry about it. But first get your concepts right. All right, first basically get your concept. Regularly analyze your performance and adjust the strategy. Talk to your mentors, talk to your friends. Friends छोड़ दो, talk to your mentors. ठीक है, talk to your mentors regularly on the result that you are getting. Don't overwhelm yourself with the result, whether the result is good or bad. ठीक है, look into the result from the point of view of those who have also attempted that particular test. Those who have also attempted those particular tests. Because it may be the case that the paper was actually very difficult, you have scored less, but others have scored less than you, but you are not aware of that. It can also be the case that the test was easy, you have scored well, but others have scored more than you, but you are not aware of that. So your test result has to be analyzed with the help of your mentor. Okay? He will tell you where you basically stand with respect to your test and what has to be done by you. In this last 100 days, consistently maintain a communication link with your mentor. Whether it is me or any other mentor that you have, it does not matter. But consistently maintain that link with your mentor. Okay? And if the mentor is good, he will not push you away. He will give you adequate time. He or she will give you adequate time. And if you are not able to find a mentor, of course we are there for you. You can approach us. Last is, I will say, stay positive and confident. ठीक है, देखो, please consider this. And in the last few days of examination, in last few days where we are approaching the examination, it becomes important to remember that UPSC is not the end of the world. ठीक है, UPSC is part of your life. Don't make it your entire life. All right. Once this fact has been settled with you, you can concentrate upon UPSC as an exam, as a job opportunity. You will be more relaxed, and that is what is required. So there is no need to think that beyond UPSC you do not have a future. Absolutely, you have a future. You will have a wonderful future. But right now you are in in this particular preparation, so give your 100% towards it. Okay? And if you require a targeted, planned course for the purpose of approaching your prelims, we are launching a target PT course. You can be part of it. You can be basically part of it. Link to its admission is also provided in the description section. Okay. Again, if you want to get associated with us, if you require mentorship once or twice, we will be there. No problem. Telegram ka link through which you can approach GS Score is also provided in description section. It is also provided in the description section. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video, giving so much of your time during this particular period. What I will do request you is to like this video, share this video with your aspirant friends. यूपीएससी का पढ़ाई हैज नॉट टू बी डन इन आइसोलेशन, और जितना ज्ञान बांटोगे उतना ज्ञान मिलेगा, ठीक है। द मोर यू स्प्रेड knowledge, the more you will be the recipient of knowledge. Share, and please, what I will say is subscribe to GS Core for more content.